welcome to Magical Maidens Jewelry Tutorials. Today what I have for you is I made these holiday earrings, and it's very easy. All I did was use some cardstock, some glittery green and red Christmassy type cardstock, and then some Christmas stickers. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm not going to do these in front of you. They're obviously already made, but it's very easy. And I will be making a necklace to match, but I just wanted to show you, in case you haven't seen my past videos with showing you how to use a die cut machine using die cuts. So what you do is you just take your cardstock. Now the cardstock, you can use this or you can use the thicker vinyl, and I've showed you on many videos. It looks just like this except it's vinyl and it's thicker and chunkier glitter, which kind of makes the die cuts hard to cut through, but it's easier to cut through on cardstock. So I'm going to tell you one or two ways you can do this. Now, if you don't have a die cutting machine and die cuts, that's fine. You don't need to. If you go online and go to Pinterest, you can just simply put in the search to look for cutouts. Like, you can simply put in cutouts. For instance, if you want to put in earring shape cutouts or earring cutouts. And then you'll see something that looks like this or that. And what you do is click it, and when it gets bigger, then you just right click and save it to your computer and then print that out later. Then what I would do for a template is, once you print it, cut out the printed shapes, then trace it to a piece of cardboard. Now this is a very thin piece of cardboard, and the reason why I say that is because if you're going to use it as a template in the future, you're going to want something that's not going to curl up. If you save the paper that you printed on and you cut it out on, the paper tends to curl up. So I would definitely just print all your templates and then trace them to cardboard, whatever type of cardboard. You don't need a really thick one. And then once it's all there, you can find a nice little box or container to put all your templates in, to keep them from being curled, bent, or ruined. This way, when you need them, they're there. So you can easily get these two shapes as well if you didn't have a die cutting machine. If you do have a die cutting machine, you can get, I got a 30 pack. It comes with assorted die cuts. Okay, and I showed this before. I got it on Amazon for like $8. I'll put the link below. I was looking for affordable die cuts. Now some of them can range from $14 on up, but this was just, you know, a cheap set. So they're not extremely sharp for the die cutting machine. So I took those shapes and I used the die cutter. Again, you can use the cutouts, and you can even use the vinyl, which is thicker if you'd rather. Once you got the two shapes, you simply glue this one on top of the other. Now with the die cuts, you have holes that you poke out because it'll cut them and it'll be kind of perforated. But if you did this by freehand cutting, because you didn't use a die cutting machine and die cuts, then you just use a regular tack push pin and then go like that, and then use your round nose gently, not all the way up, but just in the tip to kind of shape it and make a clean hole in there. Then I attached a 6mm jump ring and then a 4mm jump ring, and then my fish hooks. Make sure the fish hook point is facing the back. So that's all I did. Once this was all dry, I used E6000 jewelry glue. I used E6000 jewelry glue and a toothpick. And I glued this to that, and I put something heavy on top of it, and I let it sit for about 10 minutes because, like I always say, E6000 jewelry glue takes 24 hours to fully cure, but in about 10-20 minutes, it isn't going anywhere. What I like Now, I know most of you saying, why don't I just use a glue gun? Well, the problem with a glue gun is it tends to be lumpy and bumpy and it dries really fast. So like once you put it on there, you can't like move it around. And with the E6000 jewelry glue, you can move it around. Plus, with materials like cardstock and other things, sometimes the glue gun, just like the heat of it kind of bleeds through and destroys whatever material you're using. So not all the time. If it's a low temp, it may not, but then the glue tends to dry rot and then your earring falls apart. So try to just stick with like E6000 jewelry glue. And it dries clear. So it goes on clear and dries clear. So once that's done, if you don't have to poke a hole, the hole should be there if you used your die cuts. If you do that, let them just sit and dry. Put something heavy. Then we're going to go and we're going to attach the stickers. So now these are a combination of stickers. Of course, because they're earrings and it's a set, you've got to match the snowman. I just happened, I was like, uh-oh, do I have any that match? Because I used quite a bit of these in pendants last year, and it's in my jewelry tutorial. If you hear a noise in the background, that's my cats playing. Okay, so then what I did was I attached the stickers and I put just with a toothpick a little E6000 glue, because yes, they're stickers, but it's not going to stick too well because this is glitter material. So whether you use cardstock, glitter cardstock, or glitter vinyl, you're going to need the E6000 jewelry glue. So I just applied very little, very light with a light hand, some E6000 on a toothpick. Then I placed it and moved it around a little till I got it centered, and I did the next one, keeping this next to me so I could see where I put it. Then it also has these little stars, and I put a big one and then two little ones, and that was it. So then just before, I let them sit overnight and fully dry and let that E6000 cure. And then today I attached the jump rings and the earring hook, the 6mm, 4mm, and then the earring hook. And so here you have it, a nice set of glittery holiday earrings. They're a little bit whimsical, but they're very fun to wear. And to get an idea of the size, you can make it smaller if you don't want it quite as big, but why not go big and bold and have some fun with it? So that's all you have to do to really make these. I'm going to try today to make a necklace that matches. So when you're doing these, I want you to note that you have to do the front and back. So when you're cutting these out, or if you're doing the die cuts or freehand, you have to make 4 of the red and then glue them together first, okay? So that your back looks as good as your front. Then just in the front, you're going to glue that. So you only have to make 2 of the green. Now you can do this opposite green and then the red on top, whatever you want. But if you wanted to do the same thing on the other side, so it looks exactly the same, you can do that, okay? But just be sure to do the back because you don't want it to be plain. So here it is, and I hope you like it. And I did another video with holiday. And I don't know if most of you have seen it yet, but I did another jewelry tutorial showing you 3 holiday sparkly earrings. This was one of the sets. Now see, I didn't do the back yet, but for time's sake, for the video that I was making, I didn't do it. And you don't really want the back looking like this, especially if you're making it for friends or to sell. Now in the tutorial, I didn't glue the gold to the silver. See, this is the vinyl material, the chunky glitter. And I had to cut these freehand because my die cuts just don't go through them like as easily as they went through the cardstock. Those were my cats. Okay, so I glued that to the silver because it was curling upwards. So if you're making these, be sure that you do glue this. I thought I could leave it and let it swing like my other pair that I made, the 4-layer ones, but I couldn't. So you might want to do that. And you always have to do the back. I didn't for time's sake, but I just wanted to show you it. I like it much better with the glue, and they're very glittery. I love that gold that comes with it. I'm not a gold fan, but this is more like a pale gold, and I thought this would look nice. It's great for the holidays, even for New Year's Eve. So again, I did these freehand, and I punched the hole with one of those tacks, just a, push pin. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like. Remember to be subscribed if you haven't yet, and click that notification so you're notified when I upload my news. And please leave a comment if you have any questions about this jewelry tutorial, or if you just want to say hello. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my videos. Bye.